Hey, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, Bitchute channel, and you can get me on my Facebook business page, all at True Divine 44. You can also catch me at The True Divine on both Instagram and Twitter. Any likes, shares, subscribes, follows, tweets, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm wanting to, and the battery runs low, 1 second. Oh, I'm so organized. So I would really like, and I'm putting the manifestation out there to say that the subscriber numbers, follow numbers, all of that goes up exponentially so that we can get the message out to more people who are wanting to or are willing to hear it. So I'd appreciate anything you can do to help me manifest that into reality. So motive B. So we have, this is where I got all flustered because it was running out of battery. So this is where I use my tarot work and my energy work to combine the energies of the day to help you recognize the energies within, around you, and indeed within others to help you navigate to your highest possible potential. Because it is general, take what resonates and ditch the rest. I will not be offended. Please leave a comment as to how they resonate with you. It always is encouraging, and it's great to just share dialogue of how we're sharing the same energies and how they are interpreted indifferently within each and every one of our lives. You know, to each and every one of you that do that each day, I love you all so much and appreciate you all so much. So we have for the 7th of January 2020, interesting, very deep. We're moving swiftly now in this higher frequency. And so on the bottom of the deck, we have this 8 of Wands. So this speaks of swift movement, particularly in the inner plane, that fire, those messages coming forward from your higher self to you in this reality. Swift movement, you know, fast, very divine masculine type energy I feel from this card. This brings good news and it exudes fearlessness. Something switches today in many of you that switches off that fear to a great extent, if not in its entirety. This brings good news to you. It brings something that you've been manifesting into your life. It brings it either closer to you today and you get a hint of that, a knowing of that, or it brings it smack bang at your feet, ready for you to pick up and go with. So it speaks of messages, swift movement in the spiritual plane, in the inner plane, and then that reflecting in your reality on the outside. So this is an underpinning energy of this. It also speaks of being in opposition to something that would be negative towards you, something that does not resonate with you. And with all of these external forces trying to bottleneck us and channel us in a certain direction, I can see why this fiery energy is coming up in opposition. But it's very divine in its essence. The energy from this card, the energy from this day is very divine in it's not what we've been trained and indoctrinated into being, the divine masculine energy of all guns and war. This is a etherical, spiritual inner stand that is just putting the energy out there through your electromagnetic field to create this stance, this opposition to the oppression that is coming towards you. Now that might be reflected in your individual life also, where you feel like you're taking this stand and you wonder what's changed because you've tried to take this stand many times before for some of you, but this is the realization of when something changes inside, when something clicks inside, that is what changes the outer reality. No matter how much we go all guns blazing at something just on the external, not much changes. If it does, it's very momentary. And we usually end up a few steps back to where we started off in the first place. When this inner, and for a lot of you it's hard to even put into words what you changed, but certain spiritual knowings, certain knowings of self has accelerated that movement into this higher consciousness. And it just, you don't need to do anything but just give out this energy, and it creates this space between that would oppress you in your individual lives and from the world stage, but also just it gives this sovereignty energy, which is beautiful from the divine masculine side. Of course, always remember we are made up of a balance of divine feminine and divine masculine, nothing to do with gender. But in particular, this card, I'm speaking to my guys, I'm speaking to my boys, because this does resonate with you more so, in that this feels like a role that you are taking up the space of, that you're filling up that energy field of. And so on the bottom of the other deck, we have the Queen of Cups, keeps coming up. But today, this is this wave, this intense, just like the divine masculine energy of that Eight of Wands, excuse me, we see this Queen of Cups. Expect today to have waves of giggles for no reason, waves of teary eyes for no reason, because there's just this divine feminine energy surging through, like this etherical wave through the people who are ready to receive it and be ports for it to drive into, to port into. And so there's these receptors, these divine feminine receptors. Again, this is genderless. The men will feel parts of this too, that are awake and aware to do so. But again, this is where I'm speaking to my girls. This is where I'm speaking to you, because this card predominantly is that of the feminine gender, the female gender. And this is where there's this awakening, this other level to you realizing the goddess that is within, to you exalting and inner standing even more, where you stand with that energy. So the combined two. Now, whether you have been part of the collective that has heeded the warnings that came right from 2018 right through 2020 to now, that get out of relationships that are not matching a frequency, that are unequally yoked, get out of those relationships and those people that you have around you that you do not match frequency with. Why? Because it would be super detrimental through the year of 2020. We saw that with all of these lockdowns where we were stuck with people where we weren't matching with frequency wise. We saw the unsettled energy in a lot of the homes, in a lot of the living conditions. So this was a precursor, this was a warning from the above, and the planets coming down to us to say, get ready, do this. So even for those of you who have done that and have ended up single, this goes to you, and it also goes to those that were lucky enough to have frequency matched relationships where you can meet on the same level of awareness from different perspectives, yes, but on the same level. So I'm speaking to both groups, because remember the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine. So you can awaken yourself, but it's to recognize these roles that are coming through, these not so conditioned roles that are coming through now. So they feel odd, they feel a bit foreign, but at the same time, they feel like home. So we've got, if you look around the world, there are huge statues of sleeping goddesses. And this was the depiction, the reminder that they'd put the goddess to sleep. Not that the goddess ever left. We only have to look at nature to see that that did not happen. It never happened. But from our consciousnesses collectively, this conditioning, this degrading of the divine feminine energy in the females here, you see that we lost sight of the mother, the divine feminine energy. And so to the collective, for many, many people, it's been gone, it's invisible, but it was only ever asleep and dormant in many of us. And so this is this awakening. So we have a role here to be this divine feminine substance and absorb this wave of divine feminine energy that has always been around us, but couldn't reach out into us because it wasn't in our reality. We bring into reality what we can perceive. what we can think of, and so, or what we are even open to. And we have deliberately been blocked off to this energy in our consciousness. This opening up of our consciousness field has left the space open for us to be absorbing this huge wave of energy coming in today, of this divine feminine energy. So it's for you girls, you ladies, you beautiful, beautiful beings, to absorb this energy and go with the flow of those emotions that are felt. This is the Cancerian queen, you know, that beautiful energy of the emotions. And yes, this queen is in absolute dominion, control, and can channel her emotions rather than them channeling her. But this wave is overwhelming. It's almost like your body is recalibrating to this energy that, as I said, it's been gone so long, or you've thought you've known it, but this intensity is increasing where it feels so odd, but it feels like home. And it is for you to take time to just absorb this today, recognize this today, and claim this. Let it have a home within you, a rightful place within you, to really and truly stand your goddess upright within you rather than lying down asleep. This is where things will come up that our emotions are connected to, and it gives us space and time and energy to release ourselves from all of those conditions, all of those oppressions, all of those burdens. Not in a movement that can be hijacked, because it's a movement within you that then exudes out of you. This is what the so-called powers that be have been terrified of. I've spoken of this so much since I started on YouTube, and well before that in business outside of YouTube. And so there's a role here for the divine masculine. If you think of this divine feminine energy here as this etherical stream, this wave that is just around, that you can pull your hands through and feel it, you get that tingle. It is for that substance to be the substance that holds up everything upon it, including the divine masculine. And so this is a role of the divine feminine, but it is also the role of the divine masculine to explore the sleeping goddess, to explore the newly awakened goddess, to be that Leo lion that awakens that goddess. So if you're in a frequency matched relationship, I would invite you today in particular, and forevermore after, to do combined meditation, to allow your masculine energy in your life to explore this divine feminine and accept the reverence that is given from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. If you are single, there are friends you could connect with, for some of you, that you could do this process honestly and openly. But if you are on your own, or you just prefer to do it on your own, then be that divine masculine spark that sort of ignites this ether as it explores those inner grounds that have been asleep or hidden or even just suppressed. And ignite yourself with that divine feminine and divine masculine within. I think we should do a group one. I think we'll do it for free. We'll get a group together. We'll do it for free over Zoom. Let me guide you through this exploration of the divinities and those roles that are starting to become apparent again, that are from ancient times, a knowledge that was just known before this place was hijacked, with the codes that it's been hijacked with the manipulation, the keys that's been locking the doors, even on our DNA. So let's do a group meeting. Put in the comments if you'd be interested in doing this, a guided meditation, so to speak, where I can guide you, keep you safe, and while you're doing so, and guide you within. And I would love it to be a mix of male and female, so that we get comfortable with exploring and the roles that we are to fulfill, that will really fulfill. yeah, put in the comments if you'd be interested, and then we'll go on from there to you emailing for a definite space, and we'll make a space, even if we've got to do a couple. Hopefully we've got to do a couple. I hope plenty of people want to do it. And we'll do this group guided divinity exploration. Cool. That's what we're going to do. So those are the underpinning energies. That's just the bottom of the deck cards. Wow. So we've got Temperance card just popped out, not part of the reading, but yes, part of the reading, because it made itself very, very apparent. So this is the Aquarian card. I spoke about this, I think, a few days ago. This is Temperance, the major arcana. Now, known as the water bearer, and this is typical of Aquarius. You would think it was a water sign because it is the water bearer, but no, it's an air sign. And so what it's speaking of here is transmutation of energies and balance. And it's ironic that there's a transmutation of the red and the blue energies, isn't there? Particularly for my brothers and sisters in America right now. So this is where we can take even the most negative energies and the positive energies and transmute them into energies that are useful, that will take us forward, either in our inner standing, overstanding, understanding of something, or just from within to give us that energy to push forward. So even the most negative energies can be thrown your way, and learning how to transmute this energy, which is what I do in the energy work sessions, through your body, and creating through your energy points, through your chakra system, exchange of these energies into something that is positive and useful for you, is the fact that Aquarius speaks of our thoughts and our words. It's intellect, it's air, it's thoughts, words, deeds, all of that. But to impregnate those waters, that's how we transmute that energy. We impregnate those waters with the thoughts that create those beautiful crystals, which create symmetrical and beautiful shapes in the water. So it is actually the air that impregnates the waters within. We're made up mostly of water. So this is Aquarius, out of the box thinking, get two jobs done at once kind of feeling. So this is speaking to a lot of you, all of us, all of the time, to be able to make use of any energy that is thrown your way at any point in any day. And this is a skill that is for all of you to have. It's your right, it's part of your process that is available to you in the reality that you're in right now. And so it's to make use of it for sure. We've got the page of, let's see, no, we haven't. Which one was the clarifying? Okay, this was the, yeah. So we've got the Seven of Wands on the first card of the actual reading. We're starting the reading. So the Seven of Wands is of fire. This is where you're in a defensive position. This is where there are things, there are people, there are things around you. Now, from the collective stage, this doesn't need too much explanation. I've just realized I've been painting. I've got pink paint on my face. So there's this, from the world stage, there is this a directed energy of attack. You know, attack through manipulation, attack through fear, attack through division, attack through distraction, attack. So that energy is thick in the air for those that are part of it in particular. So it might be that you are awake and aware and of high consciousness, and you are really feeling, even in your individual life, very attacked right now. And it might be a day where lots of arrows are getting thrown your way. This is where the Temperance card comes in. So we've got here this stance of the divine masculine. Again, not acting in the most predictable way that they've gotten used to us acting in, but actually recognizing that because of the work that you've been doing within, because of your knowings and your inner core strengths and your connection to your divinity and sovereignty, you actually have the upper ground. You actually have the core strength to recognize that actually from a strategy position, you are fearless right now, whereas those that are attacking you, whether that is from the world stage or whether that is from people in your individual life, you have got the upper hand because you are fearless. There's this fearlessness to today. So to clarify this card, we've got the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is speaking of this childlike, vivacious energy, the truth seeker, the truth teller. It's relentless in finding out the truth and being the messenger of truth. So this might be where the trouble has come from, because many of us are knowing that it is time now to speak our truth and stand by our truth. And so this attracts attention. It is particularly attracts attention from the already triggered into action on behalf of the powers that be collective. And so a lot of us have got those people around us, even if it is just going into the community to go to do some shopping. So you find that you're attracting this energy. Why? Because you are standing out, because you are not going along with the narrative. You are this truth-seeking, very eager for the truth energy. And it's not that there's any fear in that. This is the childlike energy of, yeah, I'll play the game. I'm going to go digging. I'm going to go finding out. I'm going to go knowing. So this is a powerful energy in itself. So we've got on the next card, the Emperor in reverse. This is the convoluted, distorted lens of Daddy Saturn in the sky that these so-called powers that be have put over us for far too long. This is the dictatorship energy. This is the I've got power and I want more energy. And even those that seem on the collective stage, on the world stage, to be the collective's friend, to be a part of fighting for the freedom, there is no such thing. They just maybe have different agendas to other people, but this is actually where we are seeing the real colors, the true colors of many of these leaders around the world today. There's something about the energy where it's as if they just can't help but slip up. They can't help but slip out the truth. They can't help but look bad. And so this is where a lot of people are finding out those truths. And this is where a lot of people who are asleep are getting very defensive, because it makes them feel insecure. Something that they've invested the trust in and invested the hope in is showing its hand, and it's not a very pretty hand. This Emperor in reverse is that of oppression, that of wanting more authority, more power, more control over those that are around this energy. This is where we see where we are today with the so-called powers that be. Now, in our individual lives, the layers of reality, as above, so below, that rule carries through those layers. So in our individual lives, we might find that even people from the past that we thought we'd gotten rid of, that we thought we'd removed ourselves from, might crop up, trying to maybe threaten or maybe, just control in some way, holding back child support, things that they feel good about controlling, that they feel that they've got you on a hook for. Don't give them this. This is what will actually get rid of them a lot quicker if you don't give them any of that fear that they want, any of that compliance that they want, any of that their energy that they are seeking. That is what will actually keep them close if you do that. And so this is where we see we've got the clarifying card as the Ten of Pentacles. This has come up a couple of times, and it's not all the time card. You know, this is true abundance, true alignment, land, home, car, you know, all of the things that make you sustain yourself in this reality very comfortably, the people around you. We see with this Emperor in reverse and this Ten of Pentacles that there are these leaders, these authority figures that are working together. They are enemies, and they look like enemies on many occasions in many aspects of this reality. But there is a layer of them that is codependent, that is actually in agreement with beings even hidden and above them. And so this is where they are really stamping down on trying to take control of their various lands today. And it is all an equation. They're all working together. It is all part of the script where they try and introduce rules, laws, legislation that would create this, that they own everything and we own nothing scenario. That it would be one of the dominoes that they would be trying to put into play to try and create this reality for themselves. We don't give them this. We can't give them this. But this is what they are going to be putting more emphasis on today regarding the steps that they're taking, regarding behind the scenes, behind all the distraction. This is the kind of things that they're going to be passing certain laws, certain rules, having certain discussions that would try to take your very abundance away from you, as if they haven't done that enough already by putting the fear of God into people and creating fines and whatnot. Expect to see that next stage of that same process. This is where from the start of all of this, I tried to say to people, stay open, take the fines, don't pay them, you know, because actually if we'd continued to do that worldwide, if we hadn't had too many people harnessed by that fear, then actually this would have been very hard magic for them to establish. We wouldn't have finished off that magic circuit board for them, because if too many people were doing it, what could they do? And if too many people were doing it, actually their legislation, their rules, their fines would not hold up in court. So we've got here the Empress card. Ta-da! So we've talked about this divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. Then we see this very negative divine, not so divine masculine energy. But divine in the lowest realms, because they do have skills, they do know what they're doing, and they're certainly being directed by beings that know exactly what they are doing of very high intelligence. And so we've got this in the reverse, and this is the number 4, Major Arcana, the Emperor. In comes number 3, the Mother, the Empress, the divine feminine energy of the tarot. And this is where we are reminded yet again, and she's kept coming up, you know, kept knocking on that door, this energy of this reminder that your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, the 3, create your reality that you live in. By accepting the authority, accepting the divinity and sovereignty of this Emperor, whoever it represents for you in your individual life and on the world stage, that any inch that you give them the reality that they're trying to manifest, which is the taking of your abundance, the taking of your sustainability and your safety in this reality. But by really working from within and working through that process of 3, thoughts, words, deeds, you create a reality that is impossible for them to manifest their reality into. This is why they work so hard and spend so much time and money on trying to affect the thoughts and the words that the collective say to each other, say over themselves, because that is how they create these big dream realities that come true, these billionaire realities that come true, these Hollywood places, these politician seats, these presidential seats. They have to harness that collective energy to create such a big reality. So that in itself gives proof to the power of our thoughts, our words, and our deeds. This is where we turn it around. So it's happening again from the within to the without. And so speak over yourself, this divine feminine energy. Be a part of the process that I explained at the start of this reading of awakening that divine feminine energy and giving a stage for that divine masculine energy within you to stand upon, to explore that divine feminine energy and spark that divine spark within you. Exude that energy through your thoughts, through your words, and then through your actions, through your deeds. This is the energy of, this is the clash of, if you want to say gods and goddesses, but this is clash of light, of energies. The not so divine masculine energy, this dark, and I love dark, but you know, this dark in a way that I would never want to be part of, this dark, thick, foggy energy. And then this purple, blue, red, green, yellow, black energy, all of it, you know, violet, yellow, just the clash that I can feel of the energies brewing for the 7th is enormous. It is for us to swim in the pool of the divine feminine today. It's for us, whether we're male or female, to absorb that energy, because whether you're female, it will ignite you, it will make you stand up from within, and then in your reality on the without. The divine masculines, this will make you orgasmic with a spark. You've become the knight, the master again. This role that is being not created, it's always been there, but unblocked, unchained, untethered in those that are ready and who are here to receive it. Believe you me, it was planned that many of you were here to receive this. With that being said, we've got the 3 of Pentacles in reverse to clarify the number 3 major arcana, the Empress card. This is where I want to say that this is a day for individual work. To be very discerning who you share that inner ground with. Like I mentioned at the start of this, if you are frequency matched with people and you have that trust with them, then you're one anyway, because we are all connected. But there are many people that even think they are aware and awake, but still have attachments to these systems, to these abusive powers, still have attachments to certain belief systems of organized religion. And that would be detrimental for you to work with those energies and align with those energies today. So if you haven't got that team around you, and actually we're going to fix that because we're going to do a group session. Do this on your own, with your own divine feminine and with your own divine masculine. Because let's face it, you're never on your own really anyway. I feel so many of you throughout the day, you know, hear certain things or just feel your energy and send you some. And I know you guys, a lot of you are sending me energy through the day. We feel each other. And with this divine feminine wave of energy coming through, I mean, there's no doubt this is telepathic. It's even above telepathic. This is just absorption. This is just inner standing, a connection that has been bereft from this reality for so long. And many of us, including me, have been skilled at being connected and skilled at being energetically able to hook into people's energy field, to pick up on what they need to hear. But over this last year, the year before, and the year before that, this again has been leveling up. You think you've got it, you think you've felt it, you think you've, you know, that tantric feeling, that orgasmic feeling of being aware of your goddess, aware of your God within. And then all of a sudden there's another layer, there's another part. But this is happening en masse today. I find it interesting that 7 and 4 are my life path numbers. The 2 numbers also that have followed me around throughout my life. And so this is interesting, that I find interesting today, the number 7 being the bridging number. The bridging number from the reality, the rainbow bridge, so to speak, from the reality that we're in, reality, to the higher self, to the true divine self, to the true essence of self, to the spirit realm, the connection to other dimensions. It's the bridging number. There's real rainbow bridges being built amongst us today. And it is for us to be super discerning regarding that, because within every wave like this, you better believe the powers that be know this wave is intensifying today. So they're going to intensify. You know, they've got the best astrologers, best psychics, best tarot readers to tell them this. Magicians, all sorts to tell them this. And so they're going to counteract our 3 with their 4, but it's not 4 in its divine right, it's 4 in its reverse. What does a 4 look like in reverse? A second. Let me try 4. So it would be, looks very like a 7 on its side. So they're trying to break down those bridges that are being built, those etherical bridges, those connective telepathic bridges amongst us that are being built. You see, this is where they underestimate this energy, I feel. This is where they've tried these takeovers, and thankfully we've managed to maintain some kind of balance, although not nearly enough for the abuses that go on here. But there's something different. There's more of a chance here for those that are aware. Where they have predicted these bridges, seen these bridges, felt these energies come in, and so they work to turn the 4 on its side to make the 7 not so much of a bridging number, but more of a breakdown number, of a separation number, with all of these rules of isolation, 6 feet apart. It doesn't matter. We can be as physically apart as we like, although that's not great for us and it's not what we'll stand for. But, you know, actually, we'll just swerve that. We'll just go around that also. We'll build an etherical bridge. Wow. Everything reflects in on everything. All these different layers having the same scenarios and different reflections, that as above, so below, and throughout all of the layers in between. Super powerful day. Absorb these energies. Please leave a comment at the bottom underneath the description box regarding the get together, the divine feminine, divine masculine exploration and awakening session for free. Don't forget that there's no barrier to you joining this. There's no barrier to you releasing this within yourself under the safe guidance of me. I could record it. It would only be given to those that were part of that session. If the consensus is that most people do not want it recorded, then that's what we'll go with. People then can then pay and come for private sessions. But let's infuse this reality with this spark, with this exploration. And let's just get together and see each other and be with each other and be in connection, regardless of the draconian, ridiculous rules. Did they think they could hold us down? No. But if we don't stay diligent, if we don't keep on at this, if we don't keep finding ways around this, if we don't keep thinking with that Aquarius out of the box thinking, then yet again they will. We're not going to let that happen. There's something different. I love you all very, very much, and I appreciate you all listening to this probably very, very long video, because I can see how far the candles have burnt down. I hope it helped you. I hope it sparked something within you, and I really hope you'll join me together with this exploration. I think that would be super cool, super powerful. And we can do a couple if need be, you know, hopefully, if numbers are great enough. Much love, stay balanced, be in abundance today, be in absorption of that divine feminine and divine masculine energy today. And let me know how it's playing out for you. Let me know how that is. I love you all. Remember one thing too. The brighter the light you shine out of your darkness, so your darkness in a good way, from the within. It's pretty dark in there until you put a light up in there. The more you stand out. So that Seven of Wands, that attention that you might be getting in your individual life today, see it for what it is. They are childlike energies that have been made to be and conditioned to be dependent on that is external to them. And right now they are witnessing their so-called parent, in whatever powers that be that they've externalized that to, show themselves for the abusive power that they are. It's heartbreaking for them. So attacking you is their safe space. And that's not to say you don't stand in your divinity and sovereignty and not accept that. But it is to say that it makes it easier for you to not absorb it and take it on board because it's not yours to own. Now I'm done. Stay balanced, stay whole. I love you all. If you'd like a personal reading, got to say this, check me out at truedivinemedia@gmail.com. Any spiritual guidance sessions, although you've probably got your fill on this reading, or any energy work, you can email me at that email, or you can send me a private message, not on my private Facebook, because I'll be quite honest, I've lost track of the messages. I don't use it very much at all. It sort of frightens me a bit now. There's like 400 plus messages in there now, so I'm a bit overwhelmed with it all. If you message the business page, True Divine 44, then I can really clearly see that people are just messaging me there for business, for connection of business. I love you all. Mwah. Now I'm going to shut up.